y'all, can I get a spam wasabi? You know,
Let, let me get a chicken katsu.
Yeah. I'll come.
Your
I'll
chitty
come over
cats.
Hawaii with my Texas hat and go. Say, howdy, y'all. Can I get one of those spam doohickeys you talk about?
You walked up.
Can I get one of them rice wrap chicken pockets you got? You got them ethnic hot pockets, right?
Let me tell you something, boy.
Ethnic hot pocket.
Hello, welcome back to the Tunnel Boys podcast. My name is Jonathan, and I have my co-host Christopher here.
Hello.
And today we have our guests Skye and Jenson, alongside our technical producer Kenny.
Good afternoon.
And today we'll just be talking about a couple things that just came to our mind. What would you guys like to start off with?
Okay, Kenny. How about we talk about your Gundam addiction?
It's not. You want to call it an addiction? I call it a problem. It's a
Addiction, problem, same thing, you know.
What's more crazy is it's being enabled constantly. I think recently, Jonathan actually, John, you put me on the Zaku's, dude. I can't stop building them. And if you're an avid follower of the show, they're like the most mass-produced mobile suits.
Wait. Don't you have to like take them out of their little things
No, it's
and then like snap them together, or is it the?
yeah, they are snap kits. I have to cut them out of their little boards and have to.
Yeah,
snap
that's what I was talking about.
Yeah, they're snap kits.
Yeah, so when I visited San Diego a couple weeks ago, we headed to a little shop called Marukai, or Tokyo Living, down in, I believe it's is it Convoy? Yeah.
It's Convoy.
Yeah, and so Kenny already had quite a collection of Gundams, but he would only collect the hero mechs. And I was like, Kenny, do you have a Zaku? And he said no. And I was like, why don't you have any Zakus? Like, those are the bad guys. Like, there's a shit ton of them. Like, because they come usually from, like, big armies, you know? And he said, pick one, and I will build it. So I picked a base model Zaku, which is, like, the green guys. And I guess...
Green guys with the one red eyes. One red eye.
And I guess ever since then, Kenny's addiction with Zakus has ballooned over quite a bit.
So, are you saying that you kind of led Kenny down this addiction path, Jonathan?
I mean, he already had an addiction with Gundams themselves, but I
so
think
you kind
now,
of just like revved it up.
He put them down a new avenue of it.
yeah, he's definitely down a different avenue now, collecting the bad guys, I guess.
How much debt are you in, Kenny?
Let's see. My credit card can max out up to $6,000. I'm about like $100 off of hitting that max.
Oh my god,
dude!
So, how's paying that off going?
Dude, it's great because I just quit my job recently too, working at the pizza kitchen.
God.
Yeah, it was bad both ways actually. The addiction and the quitting. But that's a story for another time.
Yes.
So it seems.
So what's it like building these Zakus, Kenny? Are they more easier to build than the regular Gundams?
I'd say they're more fun because if you actually look up like the Zaku models, they have little hoses, that go around their bodies, like on their face, their little abdomen, and their legs.
Yeah.
And they're like a very malleable rubber, so they can like stretch and bend when you like move the joints around. So I thought that was pretty interesting. And building these, I was always curious, like as to how they look so flush. And it was just fascinating, the engineering behind it. It's a beautiful craft,
I didn't know those like Chernobyl like pipes for like the masks and the bodies. I didn't know that they could bend like that.
No, it's I didn't either. I didn't because I've never built one before. But now that I've actually seen it, and I've seen like a lot of the Instagram posts, I follow a lot of Gundam kit Gunpla builders on the platform, and there's just so many cool like avenues of approaches that people can do.
How many Zakus do you have now?
I have like 5. I think my personal favorite is the Gulf Custom. It's basically a blue Zaku with a lot of shoulder spikes, and it's like I'm one of those guys who's like, oh man, spikes make everything cooler. The spikier the better.
You should get a lot more of the green ones.
Maybe I've actually been thinking about it because I wanted to whatchamacallit, go into like actually like weathering and like painting. I wanted to get into that, like actually full on customizing rather than just swapping, arms and legs around. Like really unleash that next step of that creative outlet I have, and that's the beauty of Gunpla kits.
How many Gundams do you think you have in total now?
About 40 or so, and I still have
Holy
like
shit.
30 more that need to be built.
Oh my god! How do you display them all?
How do I display them? I actually have a 4-tiered bookshelf. I basically took all my books off of that one and threw them into storage. I have a 9-shelf bookshelf right next to me, and there are about, like, I'd say the dimensions of each shelf is about 3 square feet.
I see. You used to collect pops, right?
Yeah, actually, I still have a lot of my Funko Pops in those bookshelves. I'm actually looking to sell some of them, to get rid of some.
Dude.
So if you guys know someone who wants like Ant-Man or like any other anime characters, I got you. More specifically, my hero. But that's getting a little off topic. I'm not trying to do a shameless plug, but shameless, shameful plug.
How many pops did you have at a time? Because I remember that you used to have a wall in your room.
Yeah, so I called it Trump's Wall, and it went and it
What a nice name.
it towered up to 7 feet tall, and it was about the entire length of my wall. So I had over $5,000 worth of merchandise.
Holy shit!
That was like over a span of like 5 years of spending.
So did you like liquidize a lot of them or give them away?
Yeah,
or something?
I actually I sold some, gave some away for gifts, but the ones that I did sell, I actually turned that money into profit and ended up selling those to get money for Gundam kits.
Wait, how much did you say you have in assets of that stuff?
For Funko Pops, I used to have about $5,000 worth of
Jesus
merchandise.
Christ.
Now I have
And you
about
sold how much in equity?
well, because the pops normally go for about $10 to $12. It's kind of like the shoe market, It's like a lot of the prices will fluctuate. So I took advantage of those and sold them at the peak of their demand, and I actually made like almost $30 in profit on each pop. Because I would go out and buy like the exclusive ones you can only find like in stores or like at Comic-Con. I went to Comic-Con a lot, and what happened with those? I sold them. I still have a couple that are still like well over like $400, so I can sell them right now, and no matter what time of the year I'll sell it, I'll make profit.
Wasn't your most expensive one the My Hero Academia one?
Yeah, so I actually have 2 of them. There's the Tenya Ida and then the Ochako.
Yeah.
Those ones go for about over $100, so I'll be making at least 300% profit on those.
Oh my god. I collect figures every so often, and I do have a couple pops because I used to work at a Goodwill, and I would just like because we would have to throw them in the trash if they weren't boxed, because choking hazard with kids. Funny story about that is one time the guy that played Hopper in Stranger Things was supposed to come to my school at Northern Michigan University, and he was gonna like do like this whole like TED Talk speech and all that, and then afterwards they were gonna have like a fan signing, and I bought a Hopper figure, and he ended up canceling because of COVID, so I was never able to get it signed, sadly. But if I did get it signed, I could probably sell it up for like $200. But sadly, it's just collecting dust in my room now, and it's like not even worth $20.
Honestly, you just see the actor, what's his name? But the actor for Hopper, just signing autographs, and you see Jonathan just running up like posters and just boxing figures. Sign these, sign these, sign these.
Yeah, I bought a couple posters too, but yeah, nothing ever ended up happening because he never came. So they're just collecting dust in my room now. I'll probably just donate them or something, but yeah, pretty sad.
Kids really need them pops.
Poor kids.
Yeah, we did get last year we did get a guy, the bald guy from The Office came, and he did like a little
The guy who
TikTok.
played Kevin.
Yeah, the one that dropped the
Yeah.
chili. Yeah.
Yeah. Kevin's
Yeah.
Chili. That's a good fucking
Yeah,
episode.
he came to our school and he talked a little bit. I wasn't able to make that event though, sadly, because I was downstate. But yeah, that would have been really cool.
That's actually very, very lucky of you that you get to have all those
People.
cool actors come by.
Oh,
cool
we-
Yeah,
celebrities.
especially in a state that's like that part of the state, like in the middle of buttfuck nowhere.
Dude,
That's people just-
it's weird because
Oh,
like
yeah.
we get cool people every so often, but like a lot of times they never show because it's just such a hassle getting up
So
here
far
too.
away.
Especially like when it's like in the middle of the winter. Because I remember Megan Thee Stallion was supposed to come and she canceled because her bus broke
Wow.
down.
Was?
Quote unquote broke down.
Yeah, quote unquote broke down. We all know she didn't want to come to this fucking school, but someone that did come actually in 2019, right before COVID, was Ghostface Killer from Wu-Tang Clan, and I was at that concert and that was really cool. There's a lot of like older people there though, like probably like mid 30s, 40s, because you know like the music is pretty old with the Wu-Tang Clan and all that. But it was just him only and just a couple of his like friends, I guess, and they were all filling in for the other rap group members that couldn't make it. And then just last year we actually had Bryce Vine come. And,
I was gonna bring that up. I'm actually jealous. I'm a big Bryce Vine fan.
yeah, and then
An attitude about that.
but dude, just like the whole crowd was just filled with like TikTok kids from the local high school and shit. It wasn't the same as like older upperclassmen from the Ghostface Killer concert, which is fine and all, you know, because like it's Bryce Vine. But yeah, he did play La La Land for his ending, and that was pretty cool. We also had Jesse McCartney come a little while ago as well. I don't listen to his music, but I know a lot of girls were into him. I think Waka Flocka showed up like late 2013, 2015 or something as well too. But I
I was
was
like
still in
before
high
your
school.
time though.
Way before my time, and he didn't even perform at the school because the venue was so big that probably like every young person in Marquette, Michigan was there, so they had to like schedule like downtown in like this big event hall. And then also Lil Yachty was supposed to show up, I believe like 2016 or 17, but he ended up canceling. He's one of the people that canceled.
I'd say the coolest celebrity experience that I've had at my campus was Baby No Money and Nicki.
Dude, that's cool.
Baby, no money.
That's,
That's
really cool.
I'm jealous of that. Like we could never
Yeah.
get someone that big to come, to be honest.
Like it was so weird because like our campus is like, yeah, we're a Cal State, you know,
But it's just hills,
it's literally mountains. It's like it's middle of like
like
But-
buildings that you just plop beside a hill.
exactly.
I know Baby No Money has a really big following in China. Do you have a lot of like Chinese immigrants at your school?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that makes sense.
Oh my god, that's so racist.
No, like we have a lot of Chinese exchange students and a lot of Japanese exchange students. So like it's
One
very
thing-
cool to see them walk around. But
One thing I
they're
heard
always
of.
blasting Baby No Money in their beats. Like you'd walk by and you
Yeah,
could hear it.
exactly. One thing I heard of at my school was that Eddie Huang from Fresh Off the Boat was supposed to come, but he also canceled. But that was like years ago, supposedly. That's when he was still campaigning for the show to be made as well.
And then it got canceled.
Yeah, then he left the show after episode 1. But that's a topic for a different time if you ever want to talk about that. But
The biggest artist or name to ever come to my school was Foreign Figures, and they're the definition of just random white boy pop band. They were so forgettable because they played 2 songs, and then they had these kids that were sitting on the floor in front of them come up and sing for them. Like they grabbed some random choir from some elementary school, and they gave them sheets, and they said, "Here, sing this, kids," and they started playing over it.
what the?
It was so bad. Like, there's no better way to describe it. It sounded like what you'd expect a Gorillaz album to sound like if you threw it in the washer and the washer still ran. Have you guys ever like seen a Mormon sanctioned party?
No.
I have not.
Okay,
What does
It's-
it sound like fun?
pretty much just expect like all these 20 to 25-year-olds standing in a field. There's no chairs, no shade. It's like 12 o'clock in the morning or in the afternoon. And you have a band playing, but the band can't swear. The band can't be too loud. And the people that dance are the same people that do the Fortnite dance now. Like it's, Mormon sanctioned parties aren't fun. There's no better way to explain it. It's a bad way to go. They can't dance. Like it. Have you ever seen white people dance?
Yes.
I have a lot of family who are Mormon as well, and I've been to a bunch of like family reunions and stuff in Utah.
You get what I mean? Like the college shirts, the khaki pants, and the tennis shoes from Walmart, and they just be breaking it down.
But hey, they're having the time of their life. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
The thing that I want to ask you guys real quick is, and this could also be another discussion topic, is like not famous people coming to your campus, but like famous people coming from your campus. You know, like who are some famous people that have?
I think you guys. There's a Burton, in the NFL. I forgot what team he's on.
I'd say from my campus, the most notable alumni that we've had was Shaun White, the professional snowboarder.
Oh yeah, Shaun White.
Yeah.
Yeah, damn. That's actually pretty good. I like that.
And we have a lot of soccer players, even though our soccer program isn't really that known. What's up, Chris?
Oh my god! So I've been to multiple colleges.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking Bobby Lee's a notable alumni from Palmer College.
Yeah.
Dude, I type a notable alumni from Palmer College. And I see Bobby Lee's face.
Dude, I'm gonna tell you, I don't even think Bobby Lee graduated. That's the funny part.
And also for Austin, for baseball, Tim Hill and Nick Vincent went to Palmer College.
You know, Bobby Lee went to Poway High School though, which was Rancho Bernardo High School's.
I don't think I know them. Oh wait, maybe I do.
But dude, I'm sorry to cut you off, but John, that's just funny.
Yeah, but
I San Marcos notable alumni and iDubbbz's face was there.
What the fuck?
Oh my god.
I doubt that.
I doubt it too, because like he just does not seem like the type of guy to go to San Marcos.
No, not at all.
The most liberal school ever, and he's like the least liberal person you can think of.
I'm pretty sure iDubbbz before Los Angeles. I'm pretty sure he lived in Oceanside.
Did he live in Oceanside?
He lived in Vista.
Yeah.
Oh, then it would make sense that he could have gone to San Marcos, because that's the closest campus.
Possibly, yeah.
And
yeah, because he recorded that video there.
Yeah, Mark Hoppus from Blink-182 also went to San Marcos.
Oh yeah, but
Crazy.
some of the Blink-182 band players also went to our high school.
Oh, yeah. Dropped out though. Did they get suspended and just never came back after that suspension? Was it expulsion?
I'm pretty sure they got transferred from Poway because they were drunk at a baseball game or something like that.
Got him.
Yeah. But I know TJ Hunt went to RB, I think, too, right? Yeah.
Yeah, he did. He went to RB. He actually lives down the street from me. I hear his cars every morning. It's great.
Yeah, he's always driving through San Diego, and you can spot him sometimes. I know FaZe Rug went to Mira Mesa College for a little bit.
Miramar?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Miramar
that's my new
College,
school, so I didn't know that.
Yeah, but he only attended probably like 1 or 2 semesters, and then he dropped out, and then he got big on YouTube.
And it worked out for him just fine.
Oh yeah.
Moral of the story: drop out and go pursue.
No, don't drop out. Don't drop out.
No, do it. Drop out. All right, you know.
Don't listen to these people. These people are communists.
You need to actually make it big before you drop out, or else you'll be fucked in.
I finally found it.
I don't know. Sometimes you gotta just put all your chips in one basket.
The only notable alumni I care about from San Diego State is Tony Gwynn.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's the only one I care about. I don't know who's Marilyn Ross or Kathleen Kennedy. Who are these people, bro? Fred Dreyer, Joe Gibbs.
Did you just say Kathleen Kennedy?
Yeah.
Like the
Wait,
lady
are we
who's
still on the topic
of Lucasfilms?
We're so off topic.
I zoned out because I was so busy finding this.
All right, Jenson, what'd you find?
All right, Jake Burton. He played for the NFL New York Giants. He's with the Kansas Chiefs right now.
Oh, and then Chris, you mentioned Tim Hill and Tony Gwynn.
No,
like
Tony
that.
Tony Gwynn went to San Diego State for my school. Tim Hill, who's a relief pitcher, he went to Palomar College.
Yeah, and then those are baseball players, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh, so you must really follow baseball. Does anyone else here follow baseball a lot?
Well, I mean, Austin and I always watch the
Yeah.
Padres games together. Fucking, we're moving on to our next topic. But today we fucking lost to the fucking Diamondbacks 5-0.
Ooh, I'll take it.
Yeah, who do we lose? Their
Yeah.
new pitcher, something. I think something Kelly. Let me look it up real quick. He played us for 7 rounds or 7 innings.
Obviously, he ain't important if we can't remember his name.
That's
Got
the
him.
guy from the Diamondbacks. But you know, it sucks because we're trying to make it to the postseason. Speaking of baseball, I think Couple Noodles were talking about that you played baseball.
Yeah, I played baseball ever since I was 11. That's exactly 7 years.
And do you still pay? Like for
Yeah.
a team and all that?
I play for my city team right now. My college team sucks ass, but right now I'm the pitcher for actually right now it's Provo, so it's not my city's team.
What's your ERA?
My ERA.
Yeah, your ERA.
I'll be real with you. I have no idea what that is unless someone tells me what it is.
Your earns. Wait a minute. If you know baseball, how the fuck you don't know what your ERA is?
Nobody tells me what I do. I just do what I do.
So it's basically your earned runs allowed. So how many times do you allow a run to happen?
Oh, fuck. I'm gonna say that. I'd say
You don't know your stats, do you?
No, I don't know my own stats.
Damn.
Okay, all I know is I can throw a pretty good 85 as far as I go.
What kind of throw can you throw? Like curveball, fastball. What's your favorite?
My favorite right now, I think it's a weird combination, but I saw some guy do it in MLB, and it's a super low curveball. You essentially like break your back trying to throw it.
Jesus Christ! Don't tell me you throw it on the side.
Yep.
That's so
It's-
bad for you.
It works so well though, and it's so funny to see the fucking coach's reaction when I throw it. Before every game, I make a bet and see if I can hit out at least 2 people in a row with it, and I can't switch up the pitch. But if I can, the coach has to give me $250 each time,
Jesus Christ!
and it works, dude. It motivates me to throw these stupid ass balls.
Do you ever bat or no?
No, I'm horrible at batting, and if I do get up there, it's usually farthest I'm getting is second on a good hit. I've only ever hit, I'd say, 45 home runs in my entire 11 years. Yeah, no, I'm garbage at batting. But, you got me throwing, it's a different story.
Okay. What's the most innings you played?
Most innings
Yeah.
consecutively?
Consecutively, I guess. Yeah.
I want to say like maybe 15 before they called it, but you can extend the amount of innings if no one's getting any plays.
Jesus Christ! You got into extra innings.
City League is weird, man. It's not very fun either. It started raining. They didn't call it. I think some kid threw the bat too hard back and it hit the chain link fence. They called it. Like it got stuck in the fence. That was my 3rd year of base. Okay, this is a dumb story. My brother and I were on opposite teams, and obviously being brothers, we were super cocky about it. So whenever we scrimmage, we'd always go all out and fuck each other up. And so he was batting. I was pitching. We weren't supposed to throw it hard, but I obviously tried. And when I threw it, he hit that shit hard. Like, he was boasting about it. Did the fucking, out of here gesture. But when he threw the bat back to take his run, he fucking smacked the coach's kid in the face. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but...
He's just taking out the competition. That's all it is.
No, but that's the thing. It was his own teammate. Like, he did the gesture and he went to run, and as he was running, he flipped the bat back, and it bounced off this. Like, we have these little concrete steps that go onto the field. I guess they're not very good, but it bounced off of that and smacked the kid square in his face, and he flung back so hard.
It went straight into the dugout.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Oh,
What are the
God.
chances of that? Of him just hitting the kid.
He was infamous for that. My brother's not the brightest. That's why he's in the Marines now.
So he's accident prone.
He's not like, I wouldn't say accident prone. He's just dumb. I wouldn't say I'm any better. The only reason I got into baseball is because my dad mentioned the fact that every time I throw something, I hit somebody in the face. I got I got banned from throwing snowballs in my household one year because I kept hitting people in the back of the head. Yeah, that was my secret skill is throwing snowballs. I was just super good at it. Catching and throwing them back at people was the worst. Never expected it when we have this famous park here called Sundance. It's like world renowned apparently. But we're
Like the
sitting at the
film
lodge. Yeah, well, yeah, it's Sundance is a place here, and it's Sundance ski resort. I'm jumping off from a story because snow, but we're sitting at a lodge, and I'm sitting there with my ex girlfriend, and I thought it'd be playful to start throwing snow at each other. I pick up a piece of ice, try not to hit her, and I kind of clumsily throw it above her. I hit one of the EMS guys in the back of the head, and he looks over and starts yelling at my girlfriend. And I didn't know what I was supposed to do because I I threw it. And being the guy I was at the time, I definitely said fuck it, I'm not taking the fall. So I didn't say anything. That was
Is
probably a
that
main
why
reason.
she's your ex?
Yeah,
now?
that's why she's my ex.
Oh my
I've changed. I swear. I'll take the fall for my issues.
Are you
But that
sure?
You know,
Are you
see the red
serious? If I
flags
go
when I wear red
snowballing, if I go
lenses.
snowballing with you and you hit somebody in the back of the head and they start blaming me,
I
are you
mean,
going to take the blame, or am I gonna have to throw you under the bus?
if it's you, I might just start walking away.
All right, I'm about to throw you under the bus.
Yep, I'm gonna throw you on the bus too, bro.
Okay, you guys don't have snow, right? Unless
No.
you gotta pay
Yeah,
$100.
fucking California. This state sucks. You
Exactly.
barely get anything here.
Imagine
Barely
no
even
snow.
Can't even walk.
Boo.
Yeah,
No
moving to
wonder.
the next topic. They're fucking banning nicotine in this goddamn state.
Finally.
Anyway,
no.
what?
You nicotine addict?
Ah, not
More
really.
or less, I am.
More or less, yeah.
I know Kent. Yeah, Ken.
We don't talk about that either.
I say
just-
quitting smoking is easy. I've done it 11 times. Ah.
Famous quote from Mark Twain.
No, not Mark Twain.
Oh yeah, but that's his quote.
No, but yeah, with the nicotine ban, they're actually they're not really seizing production of it. They're seizing the retail and distribution of it. But places that are licensed to sell such products actually have a higher taxation rate. We're looking at about 6% increase in sales, or 6% increase in price and retail.
Yeah.
6%
And
doesn't
doesn't it?
sound like a lot, but you compare it to the people who smoke like 4 or 5 packs a day, you know, and buy those huge crates with like the boxes, with the individual boxes, with like individual packs of like 20 in like an entire roll. Like that's gonna add up, you know. It's gonna cost you quite a
Are they
bit.
just banning flavored?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. They're gonna start trying to ban jewels that are flavored and more targeted towards kids with
Oh, they
such
already
flavors.
banned jewels that are flavored. They're just gonna ban e-cigarettes, the other brands like.
They don't actually, they're not actually banning it because of the flavor. It's because of the quote unquote brainwashing technique they use with the cool colors, you know, to appeal to younger audiences.
Wait, what is color?
But it's not the color that they're after. It's the flavor, which is what they're trying to push for now. After taking several surveys, that's what they're trying to push for now. They're trying to push for banning it because of the flavors that lures younger audiences in. And I just know recently, further down south towards like the City Heights area, one of my fellow cadets in the RTC program, also prior enlisted, so he's like a private first class. He would go to this gas station often to buy nicotine, and he came up to me the next day. He goes, "They stopped selling it. They don't have any more. Do you think you can get me some?" I said, "No, I definitely cannot, because I don't even know where to get them myself," which is a total lie. Because there's smoke shops all up and down where I used to work, and my coworkers would come in with like a new flavor every week because he was that addicted. He'd just kill a single disposable vape in like a week. Like there's no one time I haven't seen him without like a vape in his hand, and it got so bad that he actually had to quit because he was hospitalized. It got like the addiction got so bad. I asked him, what got you started, and he said it was the flavors, and he didn't care about the colors of like the vapes. He wanted the taste. He wanted to try all these flavors because it sounded appealing. Names like a name called a Red Bang. It's essentially a Red Bull flavored one. This other one called Lime Romance. He said that one had an aftertaste of Sprite, and that's what got him those tastes. And it got so bad that he ended up coughing up blood. So I trigger warning to that. I should put a trigger warning before that. He started coughing up blood, and he had to be sent home, actually to the hospital, before he even got to finish his shift. It was that bad. The young die young, and the old keep living. That's how this state, not only the state, but this entire country.
I've heard in Hawaii that the age to buy tobacco products or nicotine products is like 25 or something.
And Hawaii's also banned the entire usage of like vapes.
Oh shit.
Yeah, they've.
It's honestly better.
It's better that they just ban it flat out rather than like kind of fight the problem after it became a problem. They nipped it before it even happened.
Yeah.
To be fair, Hawaii has a lot smaller population, so they kind of have to. Here, they kind of have to talk about it more.
They also can't afford the losses in the population because it may be islands, but that doesn't mean like it's heavily populated islands.
Yeah.
And Jenson, you said you're from Hawaii, so what was your experience with like the locals there and like the population size?
Honestly, not even that bad.
That's okay. Take your time because from my experience with the islands, it was like everyone knows someone.
Yeah, especially so. I'm gonna talk about the main place where I was from. I was from a more southern place in Oahu called Eva Beach, and especially if you grew around the same neighborhood. So me, my brother, we all the neighborhood kids, they all know each other, and it's also the fact that if you go more north towards places like Wahiwa, Wahiwa, Wailua, Lani, some people are just so closely knit with like the place around them that they're gonna know somebody. They're gonna know somebody who works in this place. Like, oh, that person's my uncle. Like everybody's close with each other.
It's a community, not really just a residential place.
Yeah, it's yeah. That's why it's like that's why it's so more friendly.
Mm-hmm.
It is because everybody's relaxed, chill. But nowadays, it has been getting kind of bad. I don't know if this should count as a trigger warning, but trigger warning. It was basically like two 14-year-olds just robbed a grandma in Eva Beach. Like a grandma. Like why? That's not. I don't know who's raising you, and they're locals too. They're local kids. They just robbed a grandma in Eva Beach, and that is not the aloha that I was raised with. The aloha in Hawaii is slowly, or mainly in Oahu, is slowly fading, especially with so much going on in Oahu, as it's the main tourist area. Like yeah, there's tourists in other islands, but it's like the main place is Oahu. And even when I was coming back to it, it was just so different because I just came back. I went there for 2 weeks after I graduated, and even though it's been 6 years, it's like everything's different. But the one thing that stays the same is 7-Eleven. Oh my gosh, 7-Eleven in Hawaii is so good.
7-Elevens are great in Hawaii, but have you ever been to a 7-Eleven in Japan?
That's a far question. I don't think any of us have.
That's a little down my lane.
So
I mean, do they still sell spam musubis there? Because like I can't really live without that.
Of course they do.
I'm gonna correct you, Skye. It's musubi, not or sorry, it's
Spam musubi.
It's musubi, not musubi. You don't
Musubi.
emphasize. Oh my gosh.
Subaru.
Yeah, can I get a spam Subaru?
Can I get it? No, literally, if you say, "Oh, can I get a spam musubi?" They're gonna know you're a tourist.
I mean, I am.
Oh yeah, but don't sound stupid.
I'm not like coming up. Hey y'all, can I get a spam wasabi? you know.
Let me get a chicken cat soup.
Yeah. I'll come
You
over
shitty
to
cats.
Hawaii with my Texas hat and belt, saying, "Howdy, y'all. Can I get one of those spam doohickeys you talk about?"
He walks out.
Can I get one of them rice wrap chicken pockets you got? Got them ethnic hot pockets, right?
Boy. Now, let me tell you something, boy.
Ethnic hot pockets.
I don't-
Who just said that?
I don't know if they have
a
it.
dude walking up with Spurs jeans and an 8-ounce iron hat, 10-gallon.
gallon.
Walks up. He's like, "Well, aloha to you too, brother."
Oh,
He's like, "Hey, can I get one of them spam subbies over there? Let me get a chicken katsu as well, and make it on the fly, please. You know, my horse out there Friday, because the horse left on Friday, right? The cowboy left on Friday."
I'm not gonna
walking
lie.
on the beach with your leather boots.
I'm not gonna lie. On my trip over to San Diego this summer, we had a fucking family like that was literally just holding up the plane, and it was a single mom of like 3, dude, and she had that southern accent. They were just fucking holding up the plane, like
Wait, wasn't that last time too, though?
It was
Like
every
last
time he
year?
comes
It
here.
was like every time, dude. The tourist, man, like goddamn.
Yeah, but remember, last year you said there was a person saying, "Well, this is not how we do it here in Texas."
Yeah, exactly.
This is fucking San Diego, you moron.
I don't know if there's some they sell in Hawaii 7-Elevens that I don't know if they sell in mainland 7-Elevens. I haven't seen in California. But have you guys heard of a For Real?
Yes,
For real.
Yeah.
for real.
Do you guys have For Reals and whatever? I know you guys aren't from California. Some of you guys aren't from California.
What do you mean? Most of us are from California.
No,
Most
I'm
people
not.
are.
No, you guys aren't in California at the moment. Skye.
Most of us are in California.
I am from Utah.
U-Haul?
Did they have For Reals?
I love
Utah. For
From
real?
Yeehaw? You're from Yeehaw?
Do you know what a For Real is? You know what a For Real
It's
is.
fuck if I know. I might. Is it coconuts?
No. For Real is it's like a milkshake thing. It comes pre.
Oh, those. Yeah, I know. Okay,
Yeah.
I was talking about. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
they're
I've-
AM PM McFlurries.
Yeah.
Basically. I haven't seen it in California, but that's they sell it. They sell it in every 7-Elevens in
Oh
Hawaii.
yeah, dude, those came super early. I had those when I was in middle school, like fucking what, 2017?
Dude.
Ooh, that's a little early.
I think one time, so I used to play in a park league football team, and right across the street from the park we practiced at was a 7-Elevens. I think one time I went from practice, I went to 7-Elevens and I got me a For Real. Oh my gosh, it was so
You're
good.
good though, right?
Yeah, they're
Oh, they're
good, but they're
great.
definitely not worth. Like when they
It's
first
like
came out,
$9 for a Martin.
I don't. For us, it was $5, and when they first came out, everybody was crowding it.
Oh,
Me
yeah.
and my brother agreed. They're not worth the wait or the money. They're good, but just not worth it.
I mean, in my state, it was just another ice cream brand. Like, it wasn't very popular, but they're still there. Like, you can still get them now. They're all right. I mean, I've only had 4 ever, and the first 2 I ever had, I was walking home from school, and this girl just comes up behind me, and she, like, kicks it through my arms, out of my hand, and it just goes fucking straight up in the air and lands in front of me. Gas prices, dude. I'm worried about
Yeah.
the furry suit prices, man. Back then, it was like 2,000. Now it's getting close to $4,000 for a full one. Like, I can't afford that. God damn it.
Bro,
Really?
that better be first straight from the animal I'm cosplaying as. All right.
Exactly.
Like
Genuine.
you yourself have to have traveled to Africa, pluck the fur of a saber-toothed tiger, and bring it back and softly put it on the costume without ruining the fur. That's what I'll pay $4,000
They
for.
were real.
Nah, just
They
go
were
to
real.
They
just
were,
go to
but not anymore. But...
just go to Home
Come on.
Depot and get the carpet samples and sew one together.
No. Oh, no. Oh, that reminds me.
You
There
know
was
what I'm
that
talking about.
infamous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Oh,
talking
it
about?
was so gross, too. Like, that went on for like 5 years.
Yeah. For those that don't know, in the furry community, supposedly, there was a really creepy dude that created his fursuit by going to like Lowe's and Home Depot and getting carpet samples. And he
gosh.
created his suit. But this guy would never fucking shower either. His suit looked creepy as hell, and he would just stand there at cons and then just like watch people. Plus, he would also, I think he would use like dead animals too to sew it onto the
Yeah.
suit and like roll
Hey,
around
yo.
and shit. Fucking disgusting.
It was bad.
Man of culture.
Culture
I
indeed,
don't know
bro.
if there's any way to describe this any worse, but it was pretty much just a patchwork of garbage, and it looked so bad.
Imagine how many stairs that guy would have gone, literally with a whole bag of just carpet samples.
Okay, well, I can't find a picture of it to try and describe it better, but
No,
now
just imagine he.
I have grotesque fursuit in my fucking Google search history.
Just imagine
Why don't
he
you use
came
your
into my.
fucking- sorry. All right, continue.
Such a bad spot.
All right.
Okay.
I guess
let's move
that set the vibe for creepy. So we'd like to move on to our final section, paranormal. I've heard that Skye has a short story to tell us.
As a half.
I mean, it's
paranormal
about as short
theory.
as it gets. So I was never superstitious, being a little kid, not knowing what was going on. But the first time I ever went in the mountains to ride a bike with my dad, I'd always have this like horrible looming feeling that something was behind me. And with my dad, it wasn't bad, but we started going up a little higher, and it gets darker as you go up on it. Or sorry, time goes on, and it gets darker. And me being 10-year-old, I'm start thinking like, oh, what if they're like cougars out here? That'd be so cool. My dad's like, yeah, there probably is. It's like, fuck, that totally ruined it. I was never super scared of the dark, but until he said that, that kind of ruined it for me. And so as we start walking our bikes down, he gets a little further away from me. Like, all right, I can look around. It's fine. And just I keep hearing stuff moving behind me. I can't stop thinking about cougars. But I start running to my dad, freaking out, like, oh, there's cougars. I don't know what to do. And he assures me there's no cougars. So I believe him fully on that. But halfway down, like, I keep hearing the rustling even while he's with me, and he thinks it's messed up too. But we're closer to the cars, so nothing should be like around there. But as like we keep walking down, we keep hearing it, and this is around. I don't know if anyone actually, probably people know where this is. Squaw Peak in Utah is super long, winding roads, and it's really nice, but it's horrifying, and I can't handle it. But as we keep going down, we're like maybe a couple yards from the cars, and we keep hearing stuff behind us. And he's freaking out at this point too. A 30-year-old man with his 10-year-old son freaking out in the middle of the night with bikes. And just as we get farther and farther down, we keep hearing stuff behind us, and we keep looking back, thinking that's going to be there. But as we get in our car, we feel like there's that feeling that something's running behind us, and we both freak out. We dropped our bikes and just jumped in the car. And when we like finally collected ourselves and looked out, there was nothing there. I kind of left it at that. Like, oh fuck, we're just messing around. It wasn't that bad, right? This is a really, really small story in my family, but this jumps to another topic actually. I think 2 years after that, I started practicing Buddhism with my grandma, and she used to tell me about all these cool little stories from Cambodia, such as I know there was one. It's about I think it's Vietnam actually, but it's a headless woman, not a headless woman, a head of a woman that
Floating
has
head, right?
yeah, the
With
floating
just
head, all the
entrails.
entrails that targets
Yeah,
pregnant
yeah,
women. Yeah, she told me
yeah.
about stuff like that. And there was one. It's about I think it's a little girl on jungle roads, something like that. But like during the Vietnam War and Khmer Rouge, when all that was kind of in full flow, the GIs would see that little girl on the road, and they'd stop and help her. But that I can't remember, dude. That story was so fucking scary though. But essentially, you're driving at night and you see a little girl hiding behind a tree, and you go up to her and you try and help her. But I'm pretty sure the stories end with the soldiers getting abducted or something.
They disappeared without
It-
a trail, without a
Pretty
trace.
much. And when she told me that fucked with me. And she's like, it's not, what's it? It's hard to like understand what she says, but it's essentially she's like explaining how it follows people that seen it, and that fucked with me. I've never had like the worst feeling because like, oh, what if that's it, Grandma? What if that's following me? Uh, and she played into it so well, as I think it was the buried girl, but she played into it so well, and so I started to believe it super well. And I think when I was around 15, in the middle of the night, I just had the feeling to go upstairs, eat some cheese. And as I walking up, um, there's this perfect view outside from this small little window next to my door, and I can see outside, and it's just a lone light post on my street. I think nothing of it. So I walk down, or I walk back upstairs to get some food. As I'm walking down, I just can't shake that feeling. So I take a double take, nothing's there. Like as I'm at the foot of the stairs, I just can't help, and I turn around, just that figure in it. I can't, dude. Like every time I go back to my old house, I can't, especially at night. It's the worst feeling. Oh fuck! Okay, now I'm shaking. Ugh.
So you saw a figure?
Yeah, and it's just it.
Fuck. Hell no.
Those stories did not help. She added on so much fire to those.
Holy shit, dude.
It's like think of you know the lamppost from Narnia?
Yeah.
Yeah, think of that. It's exactly the same lamppost. That's what was the lamppost? I wish I could draw that, visualize it better. But essentially, I saw that little figure under the lamppost. I shit myself. I fucking ran. I couldn't.
I'd say my closest experience I've had is actually my most recent trip back to Hawaii, the Big Island, and we were staying at an Airbnb, and it was entirely fenced off, you know, because it's a private estate. The person that owns it owns like 6 houses in there, and one of the houses actually was built over a cemetery. Believe it or not, horror movie tropes waiting to happen. It was a 2-story home, and the master bedroom had a bathroom with it was like a U-shaped bathroom. There was a sliding door that cut off the toilet, so if someone could shower while someone's like taking a shit in the back. And there's a big mirror going along that U shape. I just could not shake this feeling that I was being watched. The shower doesn't have like a door to close, so you're just showering with an exposed opening that you can see yourself in the mirror, oddly enough, and you could see the entirety of the bathroom from that one door. I was drying off my hair after I finished showering, and like I said, that uneasy feeling, it creeped back up. I look in the mirror and I see a dark silhouette peering through like the crack of the door. And it's not like the normal silhouettes that I see in my room. John, you know my room's haunted, right?
Yeah. Our whole house is haunted.
Yeah, my whole house is haunted. This was built on top of a train, old train tracks during like the gold rush in Esco, because where I live is at the bottom of the mountain, and gold kind of sinks to the bottom of the mountain. But back to the story. A silhouette of a woman. It was kind of like she kind of looked like the woman from like The Ring, like the Onryo. It looked bad, not like thick bad, but like it looked scary bad.
Not thick.
Not thick. And what happened was, like, I've never ran out of bathroom so fast in my life. It was the uneasy feeling that it was following me everywhere. And it got to a point where I couldn't even walk like 3 feet without having to turn around constantly. Everywhere I turned in that house. Like, you walk through the front door, it's the living room, kitchen on the left, living room on the right, dining table in the center, and a small back room that leads to the backyard. And there's like a pool there, like a nice 5-foot deep pool all around, so like no one can really drown. And I had this premonition of a body floating face down, still as day, and it was the body of a woman, that same woman that I saw up in the shower. Like, I talked with the tenant, the landlord. I was like, hey, something's not right here. Like, I have a sixth sense for like vibes and, you know, uneasy feelings. And I'm sitting there talking with her. She's like, yeah, there's dead people where you're standing. I'm like, why would you do this? That is not the move, Chief. That is the last thing you want to do. And it was a fun trip, but like every time I got back home, I just did not want to go inside that house. And things were being thrown around, things were missing, things in places where they shouldn't be. Like, I woke up and there was a kitchen knife next to the coffee stand where I was sleeping. I was sleeping on the couch, and there's a nightstand, and there was a knife there pointed at my face, like the blade towards me. I'm like, this does not feel right at all. And I get that same eerie vibe in Jonathan's like house in San Diego, the Ranch Bernardo house. It's that one hallway, that one singular hallway where you're washing machine is. I haven't seen anything yet, but I know something's up with that hallway, specifically that one hallway. The rest of your house, totally fine, but you turn that corner, it gets cold, freezing. Like, you could almost see your breath kind of freezing if you really paid attention. So, John, next time you go back to that house, I'm just letting you know, be careful.
Yeah, funny you say that because I'm moving back there probably by the end of July, early August of this year. Yeah, that hallway's always felt a little off to me. I don't like being there. But it's also the hallway that connects to my room as well, or my old room. Funny you say that. Also, that's where my dog passed away too.
That's where your dog passed away too?
Yeah, but I mean, you used to have like those senses like back
Before that.
before my dog passed away. But yeah, supposedly my dog passed away in that hallway as well.
That's
So yeah,
things did not add up in that hallway at all.
hmm yeah,
Like, it's the type of feeling that you turn a corner and your spine just chills.
yeah.
It's
It's not a big hallway either. It's probably
and I'm not a claustrophobic person either. I've gotten these like chills in bigger areas.
yeah. The hallway's only like 20 steps, dude. Like it's not even that far, but it is not a very light-hearted place.
Another big one was this house in Orange County. It was a family home. A very close relative owns it, and that house has been exorcised and prayed in, with pastors constantly. And there is most poltergeists and most spirits like have a black silhouette, like a shadowy silhouette.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This one had full facial features and details. Like, this one was a physical being almost. And it was the physical spirit of a nun, pale as day, blackened in eyes, almost like the nun from The Conjuring, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like the movie The Nun. Looked like that, but like not blue, like pale as day. Like, you take a fresh sheet of paper out of a package to throw in your printer, that kind of pale. Blackened in eyes, black tear marks, and a really long nose, kind of like the clown, kind of like Art the Clown from Terrifier. Looked like that, but with a nun outfit. And no smile, just a stone cold look. And it stared me deep into the eyes. Like, it stared into my soul. Like, I thought I was about to die. It was the most terrifying thing I've ever seen. And I've seen some pretty crazy stuff, but that was one that really, triggered me. Like, that was the one that made me running, crying. Something.
Let's see.
That's a horrible feeling.
It is creepy. Before we end, Kenny, can you tell us a little bit about your house?
My house. Okay, so in my room, the corner of my room, there's a giant empty space next to my door, and that is for a reason. Not so I can open the door. It's like not a single thing is there. Like, not even a trash can, not even a poster. It's because there is a tall 7-foot wraith almost that just stands there. My doors are on hinges, and you have to it's not doors that you can push open. You have to physically turn the door handle, and you have to turn it with quite some force. I have a lot of stuffed animals in my room because I like collecting stuffed animals. They're just really nice looking. I have this specific one from my childhood. So this one I've had with me since I was a child, and this one has a distinct aura to it. Like I said, that feeling, that sense, that vibe. It's not a dark vibe, but it's a vibe nonetheless. And I'll lay him face down, on the floor. The next morning, I'll turn up. He's gone, face up, laying in the hallway, with my door completely wide open. We close all our doors at night, and the only 2 doors are open are mine and the one to the bathroom. And I know I don't sleepwalk. Last time this happened, he was face up in the bathroom looking at me through the door. This little bear right here. I'm going to turn on my camera so you guys can see, but later down the line I'll post it onto my social media. But this bear right here, this little guy, I'll place him face down. He'll be face up like this, looking at me from the bathroom. And the angle at which the hallway is, like the hall. So there's a hallway. My room is the first door on the right. Straight down the hallway is the bathroom door. And my door, like you can peer from my room into the bathroom so you know who's in there. Those doors were completely wide open. And he was just there, staring back at me. Those beady golden ring colored eyes. But my house used to be built on top of on some train tracks, like a minecart system. It was a while back during the gold rush. One of the caves caved in and took the lives of 2 miners. He was actually a minecart conductor, so he would control the entire track system from end to end, start to finish, all the way through, all the way around. And he gets caught in the cave-in, crushed to bits with debris, to a point where you couldn't even make out his face. The only way you could tell it was him was through dental records. That's how bad it was. He likes to reside by the garage. Like I put my fishing pole is in the garage, and occasionally it'll be an entirely new corner. It'll be in a different corner from which I first put it in, and it would, like, my parents know that where I put my stuff, it's out of their way, so they don't have to move it. They don't have to move it at all. But this fishing rod would move from like corner to corner through the garage. It'd be in a different spot every day. I'm just like, dude, do you want to go fishing with me? Just like ask. Like, honestly, it wasn't a bad vibe, you know. Like, he was a nice dude. You can tell because of the vibe he gives off. He's like you walk in, it's like a relieved feeling. Like all the stress that you feel from the day is just gone. But once you step out, that like sunshine glowing feeling disperses, and it makes you want to go back and like enjoy his company, something that he never got to do in his final moments of life, you know, stuff like that. It's a very symbolic thing. This is kind of like the same energy as like people who manifest like crystals. You know those people, those crystal girls.
Crystal Girl.
Yeah,
Yes,
crystal
of course.
Big titty goth GF crystal girls, yeah.
Exactly.
Look, man, if it gets me in, crystals are fine.
This is that same type of like spiel. That's what it feels like. Like that's the type of like, I wouldn't say I'm a crystal person. I definitely hate rocks. But like this is like that type of spiel that I'm giving. It's those kinds of feelings. What else do you want to know about my house, John?
So you talk a little bit about the Wraith. Like, what's the whole thing about that?
So this Wraith specifically, he's just here. He's just here. He's been with me my entire life. He always likes to be near the entrance of doorways, more specifically in the corners of the rooms, but typically where the doors are. And he just stands there. He doesn't bother anyone. He doesn't cause a disturbance. He doesn't cause a ruckus. It's kind of like what my family is called, is like my guardian angel, but I'm like, shouldn't they be more like glowy? But this guy is just a dark silhouette. But he keeps all the bad vibes away when he himself looks like a bad vibe. It's kind of funny. If you guys want, I can draw it for you later and post it to the group, because I'd say it's a very, very like sharp silhouette.
Yeah, my take on the Wraith is about 2 years ago I visited in the summer, and I spent the night at Kenny's house, and we stayed up really late, and then we went to sleep. But I woke up probably about like 4 or 5 in the morning, and I looked over at Kenny's, like near Kenny's doorway, and it was dark, but there was a darker mass in between the doorway, and I was like, what the fuck? And, like, I thought I was like tired and somebody was messing with me. But then I told Kenny about it the next morning. He's like, oh, that's the Wraith. And I'm like, what are you talking about?
Why are you saying it so casually?
Yeah, exactly. I was like, bro, did I just see something, or was like, are you fucking with me?
You saw something. That was
Yeah,
him.
I saw something.
Hey, yo, that's my buddy, Wally.
It was weird because it was like a mist. It was like, well, just how I saw it, but like, Yeah, the room was dark as fuck, but then there was something even like darker in front of it, and I was like, "What the fuck?" But then I
Yeah,
just went
he's
right
like
back to sleep because I didn't know what the fuck it was.
he's the definition of social distancing. He'll always be on the opposite corner of where I'm located.
Yeah.
He just he'll look at me, but he won't be near me. Like I remember the first time I saw him, I actually tried to approach him, and I go to that dark corner, and all of a sudden I can see clear as day. I turn back around to the opposite corner, and it's just dark. It's darker there. But I look at the other corners in the room, it's like that same type of light. It's not dark in all corners. It's only the opposite corners of my room. And this happens in a lot of rooms that I'm in. And you could be saying like, oh, that's just how far your eyes can perceive the lights. Mind you, my room is a perfect square. It's equidistant across all the walls, so whatever light I am seeing is going to be the same light all around. So I can stand in the dead center of my room and I can easily point out the darkest corner. So you might be thinking, oh, it's just the light playing tricks on your eyes. Not when it's pitch black. Like you can still see in the dark, but just in like a specific corner, it's always going to be darker. And I can tell you which corner that is because my desk is located near the window, and on the opposite side, it's the door. And my lights are on in my room. And I can tell you right now that this corner is specifically the darkest part of the room, and my light shines equal light across everything. Not a bookshelf or a lamppost casts a shadow in that corner. So yeah, next time you guys spend over the night at my place, hopefully he'll pay you a visit.
Put that on my to-do list when I go there.
Well, I'll put on my no-fly zone, if you know what I mean.
Appreciate it.
Just
Are those
Ken's house.
are those the only two that reside in your house?
Yes.
Let's see.
Very occasionally, I'll have some occasional visitors. I call those the wandering souls. And fun fact, a lot of spirits actually they like to just wander, and they'll find the closest place to home. And to them, definition of home is someone that can see and understand them. So I attract a lot of spirits because I can see them and make them feel known across the human world, as people say. But I'm just like, you're there.
Do you ever just
Welcome.
ignore sometimes when you need to?
Yes, actually, quite a bit. Skye, you were talking about the floating head.
Mm-hmm.
When I took avid trips to Vietnam, I would see it a lot, specifically in the forest during the jungle tours. I would see it a lot.
I went to Cambodia. We were on the border, and that's one of the things my grandma would always tell me about. I think it was that, and if we tried going back to her hometown, but it pretty much doesn't exist anymore.
Oh,
But she used to warn me about the floating heads and the leftover spirits. During Khmer Rouge, obviously, it was mass genocide.
mhm.
And she liked to explain it as, in her terms, it's so in Buddhism, when spirits come back, they're not entirely full. It's you die, you come back, and it's a different plane of understanding and knowing where you are.
Mhm.
So she likes to explain it as like walking through a fog, and sometimes you bump into other people in that fog, and you start walking with other people, and she likes to explain it like that. So what I mean by leftover spirits, it's like seeing crowds of people that aren't actually there, and when we tried going back to her village, I said hometown village, whatever you want to call it. She's old enough that it wasn't a town, it was a village. We went up on this mountain where she used to go every day for water, and it wasn't too thick of a fog, but you could almost see the people's heads like all throughout the area. It's like looking over a street view. You can just see a bunch of people, and it's just the most. It's like you get that sense of dread. Like you don't know what you're gonna do. You don't know what's gonna happen the next second you walk down.
Mhm.
So I tried to convince my grandma to just kind of sit up on the mountain for a little bit. Not go anywhere else. But when we did have to eventually go down, it's like field of view. You start walking down, and you can still see them as you're getting closer to the ground, and it just kind of like just fades away. It's a scary feeling because you don't know. I never knew if they were still there. I don't know what was around me. At the time, I didn't understand it because when I talked to her about it, she didn't really seem to care, and it was just a horrible feeling. I know that for sure.
Sometimes it's a good feeling to know your surroundings, especially who's around you.
Yeah. Groups. Okay, the groups one scared me a lot. I think the one time wasn't super freaked out by ghosts. I was hanging out with my cousins at my old house. I had the same house described in the first ghost story, and you just chillaxing there, and the lights just going on and off, on and off. I'm like, oh, that's normal, you know. We didn't take too much of it until I think it was my younger cousin started describing. It's like, yeah, this happens a lot. We just kind of take it as it is, you know. And she started talking about how if it was a ghost, it wouldn't be too bad. When they described it as, you know, someone casually being there behind.
Mm-hmm.
So the door in that room was always open because it just, I don't know what my family was like, but there was a light switch behind the door that controlled the lights. And they'd always describe it as someone being behind the door. So we just took it as it is. And that house wasn't like super bad or anything. As far as I know, nothing happened there. No, that's it really. Like that house was just, as far as I know, it's a normal house.
Thanks for joining us, Skye and Jenson. And we had a lot of good talks today.
I'm glad I came.
And
Of course.
this has been Jonathan, Chris, Austin, and Kenny. Thanks for listening to the Tunnel Boys podcast. And we will catch you in the next one, hopefully. We'll try to roll episode 6 out as soon as possible.
Episode 6, we'll find out who our next guest will be.
Fuck you, Chris.
You know what, Jonathan? I don't send you your charger for your Switch.
What?
Oh, damn.
Thank you all for watching. Oh yeah, by the way, please send a new microphone because I need it. Good night.
Don't give him one.